just don't feel the same. Just don't feel the same.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Coming Up Comic. This is a special episode. It's dedicated to Women's History Month, and this is footage that was captured last year during our inaugural mixer event here at the studio. We had a lot of comedians, some improvisers, some filmmakers, writers, singers, and during the mixer, the women took turns sitting down and asking each other questions. It might be a little noisy in the background because we were having a really good time that day. And it's special. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did doing it. Without further ado, Wet Girls Mixer.
Well, you know, spring is upon us, but in here it's wet girl winter.
It is.
And this is Lexi Costantini interviewing the Big Red, Claire Parlette herself. Give it up for
God.
Claire.
Stop it. Seriously, too much. I'm overwhelmed. My lashes are going to fall off.
No, they are on skin tight, baby doll. So I want to ask you some questions to get to know you more. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Dive right in. Let's
Yes.
go. Ooh, what is your comedy superpower?
My comedy superpower. I think that it's when I'm in the zone and feeling comfortable, I'm breaking a joke apart into like things that are rhythmic and physical and energetic.
Absolutely.
And it's something that I can't always just do that superpower on command, or maybe it's not everybody else's superpower, but I have it. And if people are receptive, it is so fun to be on that plane.
Yeah,
So fun.
because your physicality is more than slapstick. There's like a story to be told with your body that you do.
Yeah.
It's captivating.
Hopefully. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, next question. What's the best advice you've ever been given?
Best advice. I feel like it's probably always comes back to just focusing on yourself and knowing that like you're doing this for you. You wanted to do this before you met any of the competition around you. So like your connection
point.
to comedy is just, it can be intimidating to be around these talented people, but also remember that like you had this dream before you met these people or before you came in. So anything that's feeling threatening or overwhelming or taking you off your confidence towards the track, to like remember that like you care about this thing so fucking much and your connection to it is so unique, and just try your best in this crazy world to focus on that.
So is that something that you kind of like learned and gave advice to with yourself, or was there like a couple of people that have influenced you to think that way?
Another comic gave me that advice one time when he was like, and it was about drama. It was about shit. He was like, people didn't like him at the time. And he's like, you know what? Like, but he said, he was like, I've had this dream before I met you. And I was like, you know what? His drama I thought was real, but I was like, it's just such a good point. You know,
Oh my
it's like when you're
gosh.
that stressed out about bullshit, you have to remember that like you care about this individually. You care about the people and everything as well. But if you're getting overwhelmed, you care about this.
Yeah, that's the core.
Yeah, there's something to bring you back to it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, baby girl. What is your favorite comedy moment?
My favorite comedy moment that I've had was when I was on stage at Laugh Factory. It was my first time there. I was so nervous. And I feel like I got in that moment where like energy took over, where it wasn't about like the setup and punchline anymore. And it was just like 5 minutes, but it was about the energy of the room and just being fucking silly and within your jokes and taking each joke and like slowing it down, that like each moment was kind of like, it was just slow and it was like, it felt musical. I called my mom after, and I was like, it felt like I was doing rock and roll comedy. That like, it wasn't about like the talking or the jokes, but it was all about the energy.
Yeah.
And it was
because
just,
when you're up there, you're a fucking rock star.
right. You have to channel your inner rock star.
You really do.
Like, and if you
really
can do that, and some days people are really ready for it, and you have your right audience, and to be in that zone where like, yeah, it's not about each smart joke or each pun
and how it lands. But
Oh my God.
It's about how they see. Who do they see? Are they seeing Claire?
Yeah.
Is this the purest form of your performance of your comedy? And you bring
For
that every
sure.
time.
Yeah.
And
it-
they pick that, and they pick up on that.
Right? Like that moment felt like I was like dancing in my living room or like trying to make my mom laugh in the kitchen. Like it was one of those moments where it was like so together and it felt so easy. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to get back to that moment. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's all I have.
Great.
That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Hi, Lexi.
Hi, baby doll.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna ask you some questions. Is that
Okay, good. Good.
Okay, it is good. Okay. Okay, so what is your comedy superpower?
My
And-
comedy superpower is empathy, is being able to go on stage and act like
pretend
you're
like you have
everybody's
empathy.
best friend, and that you're just venting, or they're venting to you, or you're telling jokes to your best friend, and it's all relatable. So I would say empathy, 100%.
Empathy. Do you want to say empathy one more time?
Empathy.
What is the best advice you've ever been given, specifically by me? No, just the first part.
Oh. I was like, there's so much good that you've said to me, always. The best advice I've ever been given to me, well, it wasn't given to me directly, but I did watch a clip of Leslie Jones, okay? And Leslie Jones was talking to Kevin Hart. And Leslie goes, Kevin, you made it. Like, how did you do it? How did you do it? And he goes, you can't be desperate. And Leslie's like, what are you talking about? I'm not desperate. I'm working hard. I'm doing the thing. He goes, you're talking about it. You're desperate. That's what you want more than anything in life. You need to sort of let go of that desperation and just take it day by day, day by day.
Day by day, day by day, day by day. Do you know that's? Do you know
No,
that
I
it's
don't, but I let you do your
So
thing.
the third question.
The third question? We're
Yeah,
already at the third question?
Yeah, you didn't.
Weren't we
give
given like 5 minutes?
Yeah, but you didn't get my musical reference. No, but okay, no, but
So because I didn't get your musical reference, you're cutting me off. Wow. I never thought I'd see the day of the hundreds of other references I get on a daily basis coming from you, of all people. And then you shut me down? What the hell is that? What is this crap? What? I'm in the hot seat. I literally feel like I'm on fire. What the fuck is this? You should have seen how nice I was to Claire. Fucking cunt. Okay. What's the last question?
no, but I do agree with that. I do think that letting go is really important.
Yeah, you gotta let go
and I
of all
think
that and just have fun with it.
You just have to,
and
that's
realize that that's
all that matters.
all that matters. But that's the thing though. It's not do or die. Like if make it or not make it, that shouldn't be your goal. Your goal
No.
is to do comedy.
The goal is to
Whatever
do
that
comedy and make
means.
people laugh.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
last question is, what is your favorite comedy moment?
Ooh, it was
Now,
my.
Is that like your personal comedy moment?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna interpret it as.
Okay.
When I made my Laugh Factory debut, it was when.
That was amazing.
Yeah. So there was a show at Laugh Factory that sponsors my open mic, and my open mic is a competition open mic where it basically lets lesser known comedians get gigs at Laugh Factory.
I've been blessed to have won it.
Quinn was blessed
And
to have
guest
won
host.
that
It's
competition,
amazing.
and it helped their career,
It really
their
did.
comedy career. So I didn't ask the hosts host of the sponsored show if I could be on it after 2 years because I felt I needed to pay my dues, whatever. So the host brings me on stage, but before he does so, he makes this big introduction saying that I've helped comedians get on a bigger platform, and now it's my time. And
So
the
he
whole
lied.
crowd, they acted like I was a friggin' headliner. They roared. And
was
I
amazing.
cried, and I get up on stage, and I'm like,
I
you
remember-
guys,
wait,
I
let's
just
see
got
if
my
I have-
period. I don't want to cry anymore.
I have a video of it
That was
because
it.
that was like my favorite thing, and I want to see if I can find it, and we can relive that moment together on tape. Is that okay with you if I can find it?
I think we're out of time, honey. All right. Woo!
Okay, we're done. We'll
No,
be
but
done.
honey, we got to do it in the other room. That's all I'm saying. We got to
Okay.
go.
Hi. What is your comedy superpower?
Okay, I have been pondering that question for the last hour and a half since I saw this note card originally. And I don't know what my superpower is. I think it's that I think I come off as everybody's gay best friend. I feel like when I'm on stage, I make enough people comfortable very quickly. And I know that because a few weeks ago, a lady in McHenry came up to me and said, I don't get the pansexual thing, but I liked you. And that, I think, was one of, like, my favorite compliments I've ever gotten. Like, and I think that's my superpower, is that, like, I'm what people, I am, like, on stage, I am the perfect stereotype of all of my communities.
What is the best advice? What's the best advice you've ever been given?
My friend and fellow comedian Erica once told me to slow down, but also hurry the fuck up. As I'm talking, I make a lot of pauses, and pauses aren't a bad thing. Pauses are very useful tools in speech and in comedy, but I do it a lot. And when it's not necessary. So the best advice I was ever given was like to hurry up sometimes, but also like it's okay, like enjoy your pauses, but get rid of some of them.
All right. What is your favorite comedy moment?
My favorite comedy moment. What is my favorite like my own personal favorite comedy moment
It is
from me?
up to interpretation. What
Would
is
have
your
been,
favorite?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite comedy moment for me would have been when I was dancing on stage for my first show at Laugh Factory because they played the song Barbie Girl for me to dance on to, and that made me really, really happy. Just because, like, one had never been asked for a walk-on song before, and so the fact that it was like Laugh Factory, my Laugh Factory debut, and they asked me for a walk-on song, and I got to have Barbie Girl, like, I got to live my faggy fantasy in that moment in a jumpsuit. I felt like Greta Gerwig on the set of the Barbie movie in that moment. Just like, you know, if you've seen pictures of her wearing her jumpsuit looking
have.
insanely happy,
I have.
that's the energy I felt. And my bubby was in the audience, so that was really fun. She didn't understand anything I was talking about. She was so confused. She was the old lady in McHenry that came up to me and said, I don't understand the pansexual. She wasn't. We have her in a home.
This is a very nice space. I feel like I think this is the inaugural set of vodcasting in this space, right?
Is it?
Is that right? Oh,
That's
yeah.
so many big words.
Yeah. I was trying to be like casual, but I got very presentational.
No, I think it's beautiful. I think that's wonderful.
So you're a comedian, right?
Yes, I am.
What's your favorite what's your favorite way to do comedy?
Oh, my favorite way to do comedy?
Yeah.
I love musical comedy.
Really?
I love storytelling. Usually story then a song.
That's amazing.
I like to mix the two. I love props.
Oh,
Anyone who says props are hack,
are you a puppets gal? I'm a little bit of a puppets gal.
love puppets. I love puppets so much.
I have one of the guys that has 2 legs and a bongly head that you used to be able to get at like theme parks, maybe.
Oh my god.
I like couldn't find one for years, and somebody makes them on Etsy. They're called a treewee.
Have you ever seen a lumberjack?
No, but that sounds
Oh my god, I think you'd really like it. It's this thing. It's like it's an instrument that like they played in street performers would play it in like England in the 1800s. And it's like this little wooden guy on a stick.
Did they have one on
the
Mr.
board.
Show once?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, it's a sketch show, but I think the
Oh my
only time I've ever
gosh.
seen one is on that
Yeah, I
sketch
have
show.
one. I love it.
I love that so much. So, on the topic of comedy, what is your comedy superpower?
My comedy superpower, honestly, that I have really bad social skills. It's just like they've always been not great, and I've never known what to say to people, so I say the wrong thing, and on stage that turns out to be somewhat the right thing sometimes.
That is a superpower. That reminds me of the X-Men who live at like the other school where it's like I have a superpower, but it's like it's a little tough sometimes. But it still does good for people.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
It was to only take advice that I like.
That's really good advice.
I know that sounds like such a smart-ass piece of advice. It sounds like advice from someone who didn't know what advice to give me. But
But it's good because it's like
it's-
only take the fruit that you want to eat. You know, don't take the
Exactly.
fruit that's ucky.
Exactly.
Yeah. My last question is, what is your favorite comedy moment?
Oh, my favorite comedy moment. Probably the first time I ever did comedy. My first open mic ever. I remember I was just filled with so much enthusiasm, excitement, rage. And I
Yeah.
ended up like on the floor yelling. It was just so magical and I felt so alive. And I didn't have any goal in mind. You know, I just wanted to express myself and I want to capture that moment again. It was really fun.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Great stuff, Rebecca.
Hi, Sarah.
How's it going, Megan?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing good. This is a fun day. I like chatting.
Yeah, me too. It's been fun getting to know you and all the other girls.
Yeah.
What got you into comedy?
I think I realized from a young age that if I could make people laugh, they would really like focus and like you could do a lot with that. And like my brother and I would do jokes together and it just felt really good whenever we were laughing. And so at a certain point I was like, could I go to theater camp? And like had a really nice teacher that was like, you could do this more.
With that intro to comedy, would you say, like, what's your superpower with that?
I think my superpower is kind of like reading an audience and trying to give them what they need that night. Because sometimes it's easy to get into our heads about like, what is my comedy and how am I expressing myself? But sometimes like something just happened in the news and everybody's like sad and they just want to laugh at something really silly. And then sometimes they're like hyped up. They've been at work all week. They're super active. And I like to read that. Even when I'm not doing a show, if I'm in a room with like stand-ups or improvisers, I'll try to tell them like just a few things I noticed to see if it helps them like deliver the thing that'll really like knock those people over that night.
Oh, so you're really doing good, like Superman, huh?
Trying to.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
I had a teacher in comedy studies that told me, Andy Myra, he told our class, don't focus on what you don't have, which is probably a lot. Focus on what you do, which is probably enough. And like, I think you can swap out words in the middle of just focusing on like what you've got going on for you and what you can build on instead of like looking completely away at something that you've never owned and try to like reach for it. It made me a more wholesome artist to just like kind of keep it inside a little bit first and then let that inform what I want to do rather than like worrying what everybody around me is going to say.
Wow, okay. That keeps you focused as well, huh?
Yeah.
I'd say, what is your favorite comedy moment?
I used to be in a comedy band, and it was me and two guys, and one played the guitar, and then we would all sing and harmonize. And there was a show in Charleston, South Carolina, where for some reason, when we were in Charleston, the audiences were just like absolutely, like never got a warmer reception. And like the third time we were back there, we got to perform at like the closing night of the festival. And there was this audience, and it was 99 people. It was called Theater 99. It seats almost 100. And there was this dad in the front row who kind of looked like a big bear came to life. And the whole show, his laugh rings out above everybody. He's like, gah! It's like, and at one point we like made some joke in a song, and he almost stood up and went, "It is." And it was like after the show, he was so shy and didn't even say anything. And his daughters came over and were like, "Our dad really enjoyed the show. He's just like, he's too starstruck to say anything." And I was like, that was the coolest audience member I've ever seen. I was like, tell him that like his laugh made my favorite comedy moment.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. I've heard that laughing is people love a good laugh or a loud laugh. Like comedians can be very appreciative.
Yeah, people get self-conscious about it, but I'm like, that's a superpower.
Yeah, and I think like when somebody like who performs and like is appreciative of their laugh, I think even those people probably like appreciate their own laugh too a little more.
I think so.
Which is just fun. It's just like let's this is my joyful noise. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like it would be if we're making them cry that loud. There's probably something to look at.
It's just it's like, oh, that's my fan. That's my fan. Like it's like, okay, everyone's fine,
but you're my guy.
He's number one.
Hello, Megan.
Hey, Sarah.
How do you say your last name?
Loftus.
Loftus.
Yes.
I never say your last name because I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, I've gotten Loftus or just
that's what I
Loftus.
The first one is what I would probably say. Yeah, but cool. So you're a comedian here in Chicago.
Yeah.
What is your inspiration for your comedy?
I think my dad. We used to go to little parties together, and like neighborhood parties, and he'd give me little jokes to tell to get attention because I'm a middle child, and it would be really fun for me. And
I think my sister would identify with that. She's a middle child.
Okay.
She's talked about how middle child behavior is, and from growing up, I see it.
Yeah. Are you the oldest or the youngest?
I am the oldest, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. Yeah.
What is the best advice in comedy that you've ever been given?
It wasn't actually in comedy, but it was in speech giving in a class, and it was turn your nervousness into excitement. It's the same feeling. It's just your perspective.
Yeah.
So like riding a roller coaster is the same. Fun excitement as you would be scared.
Yeah.
It's the same triggers.
Yeah.
Like sensations. Just sort of like what's your perspective on it.
That's a good one. How do you think that's helped you? Did it immediately help when you implemented it?
I think, yes, it did almost immediately help.
Yeah.
Some things just like, sometimes you just I get an idea and it just it clicks with me. It really clicked with me. And every time before I get on stage, I always just go, no, I'm excited. And I just tell myself. So.
Yeah. What is your favorite comedy moment so far?
My favorite comedy moment so far? I really enjoyed my time on the roast battles, the couple I've done last year. I have one coming up, 418, but with Cam. Just kind of like, because it's kind of like different writing. And then you win. And winning's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You never really think when you do art, you're going to have to compete that badly. So, yeah, I think that was just more kind of and fun.
I think these specialized shows are amazing because they get you out of your comfort zone of what you would regularly do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And they are so great over there. So. Have you ever done them?
No, I actually didn't want to do roast battle because I don't want to be mean to people because I know that I could destroy someone very easily.
Okay.
And I don't want any enemies. I'm just being honest. And also, I don't want anyone being mean to me.
Right. I'm not gonna lie. You're just so pretty. It would hurt worse too coming from you.
Oh my God. Yeah. I just don't want to make any enemies. That's the only thing.
This one, I don't really like this question at all. What is your comedy superpower?
You can ask whatever you want too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. What do you think? Well, how about, fuck superpower. That makes no sense. What is your biggest strength, you think, as a performer? Like, what do you bring that you're like, this is something I know every day I walk home and I can feel good about that?
I think that my background in like musical theater helps. I know a lot of people, they haven't seen some of my characters that I play, but I do characters in some of my stand-up, and I'm going to start putting in more music, and It actually makes me less nervous. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that more.
And I feel like you have a lot of knowledge. I mean, just seeing you on like online and shit. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like that's something else. You know, just the knowledge and the
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a reporter in DC, so like that's why I report on a lot of shit.
All right.
So that's probably like what you've seen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I be seeing they be banning her. Then she's back. She's backing at it,
Yeah.
folks.
Been banned like 3 times.
I'm gonna ask because I know we don't have a lot of time. I like this one. What is the best advice you've ever been given?
Best advice. Well, my dad, I mean, kind of just when I grew up, just made us not care about what anybody thinks. So it was just an ingrained thing, not caring. It's not necessarily advice, it's just the way I grew up. My dad's like, fuck everybody. He was always like that.
You don't have a quote?
No.
What'd you put on your bracelet that you made?
Nothing. It's just beauty.
Oh, fuck. Heartless.
Yeah.
You don't have a tattoo quote?
No.
Anything? No?
No.
No advice?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I heard something about tattoos that if you get something tattooed on yourself, since your body's 70% water, it will affect your body. Because there's a New York Times best-selling book called Hidden Messages in Water. And this is the autism, I'm sorry. So there's a book called Hidden Messages in Water where the scientists put a word on a water bottle and froze it. And then the crystals that formed underneath the microscope, when they put it under a microscope, it like was the same as the word. Like if it was a beautiful word, there were beautiful crystals. If it was like hate, the crystals were fighting each other. So like,
Oh, you crazy. Oh, you delulu.
it's a
You
real
Lulu.
science experiment. It's a New York
fuck.
Times best-selling book.
I'm a Gemini.
Okay, that is crazy.
I was like,
I
no,
grew up
it
with
makes
Geminis.
sense. So you have no tattoos?
Mm-mm.
Oh, really? That's good. I think that's cool.
Oh,
You know?
thanks.
Yeah. I'm the only person in my family that has tattoos. All right. Another question. I don't like these about comedy, but
You
this
can do
says,
anything.
what is your favorite comedy moment?
My favorite comedy moment.
All right. So what's something that, like, as a comedian, what's a night that you felt your biggest accomplishment in comedy? How about that?
When I produced and wrote my own song and
Oh.
like performed that, but it was like comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
And what was that?
And I actually,
what was the moment like?
I have a character I play that's based off of my boss, and she has like a blonde wig and like a mink coat with these big glasses, and she's super mean, and she just raps and like cusses people out. So it's based off my boss.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how you
I
do
love
it.
that one.
That's the biggest one.
People love her. It's Cece.
How are you, Kat?
I'm good. I'm so excited to get to interview you.
I know. I like how they set this up.
You're like this energy in the Chicago comedy scene. I feel like not just great barbecue, but also great personality.
It's not barbecue. It's fried chicken balls.
Is it not? It's on a grill.
We got like shit. Barbecue sometimes. Never. We've never made barbecue.
All I know is I had it one time and it was pretty damn good. I was freaking
yeah.
hungry. So
At what? At
Power Hour.
Bang,
Yeah,
bang.
but I was like watching you cook it for like 10 minutes. So I was probably a little creepy.
It takes time. Oh.
Yeah, because you were like, see that? That's what yours is gonna look like.
Yeah, and I like the people to see. That should be banging.
Oh yeah, man. So I've never gotten to talk to you a whole lot. How long have you been doing comedy?
Comedy.
Yeah, stand up. You've come to Harrigan's a few times and you've always crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Harrigan's. Tuesday. I know exactly the schedule.
Yeah,
Fucking
right?
love Harrigan's. It's
Hell
been
yeah.
a whole mic for me for a long time. But I don't make it usually on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I'm like cooking and take bubble baths. You know what I mean? That's Tuesday's my day. But
Yeah.
I know I love Harrigan's because you can always
Hell
just
yeah.
slide up. It's
Hell yeah.
one of the longest standing mics has been in Chicago. Since I've been here.
Yeah.
So I've been in Chicago for 8 years. So
Hell
There's
yeah.
always
Has it been there the
something.
whole time?
yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
just about. Maybe.
Cool.
I mean, I would say yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So you said, wait, Tuesday you're cooking in what?
taking bubble baths.
Taking bubble
With
baths.
Dr.
Okay.
Teals, with the teals.
You know what? Self-care is important.
It is. And I know. Trust me. But you were saying?
Yeah. Okay, so
about the
so
hair.
stand up. How long have you been doing that since you
how
moved
long
here?
I've been doing- No, I've done stand up since I was 20, so about 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah, going on.
Okay.
But I did it when I started. I had a fake ID. I was actually Gabriela Maria Gonzalez,
Whoa.
1625 Mercury Drive.
I
Baby.
see it. Actually,
Yeah.
I see the Gonzalez in you.
Only when my hair is down.
That's
or
right.
in
Yeah,
bed.
it's the curl, girl. It's the curl.
And it was my best friend. She was pregnant, and I used her ID, and I would get into the
Okay.
clubs in Louisville, Kentucky, and I would use her ID to get in.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I would go with my mom, and my mom would be like, "I guess you can't tell me this ain't my daughter." You know, and I'm like, you're damn right.
Because you're from originally
Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, right. Yeah, she's representing. So, is there a big comedy scene in Louisville?
It's decent.
Yeah.
I would say, you can be a big fish in a small pond, or you can be a big fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
So I want to be a big fish in a big pond.
Hell
So,
yeah, hell yeah.
I'm still here.
That's a Louisville confidence.
Yeah. I'm still here.
So if you could pick a comedy superpower, Emily, what would your comedy superpower be? I know you wanted to answer this question real bad, so.
I know. I like the way you said that though, because it's different. If I had a comedy superpower, what would I want to be? As bad as it sounds, I
Yeah.
know I talk like this and shit, but a lot lot of people don't understand me. You know,
Aw.
like I fuck
That sucks
bitches
for
and
them.
they don't even know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
my
you know?
God. Like, say
So
that
I
again.
guess I would like to be able to, if I had a comedy superpower, it would be to talk regular for one, just so they can hear exactly what I'm
Okay.
talking about. You get what I'm saying?
I
'Cause
feel
know
you.
What I'm talking about is funny.
I feel
But
you.
As far as the everybody that sees, not everybody
Yeah.
understands, which is okay. you
Yeah.
know? But back home, everybody understands. this
Yeah,
and that,
right,
but
yeah.
Up north, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to turn that off.
Turn
just
that-
every once in a while.
Has your accent changed?
Especially when I've been drinking.
that kind of like slows it down a little bit more. It goes down the highway a little bit more. Has your accent changed at all? Like when you go back home, are they like, "Oh, you're city now"?
No.
No?
They know when I come back to Chicago
Yeah.
because I'm more raspy. That's what
Yeah.
I love about being home. I know
Yeah.
exactly when I cross that border of being South, because they're like, I don't know. They just got the
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah, I think your accent is like one of the most charming things about you. But if you can have that one day, that'll work out.
I don't think that will happen, but
Right?
How's it
Hey,
going?
Kate. Excellent. I'm having such a fun time here.
Yeah, this is such a great event.
I
And
know.
we're sitting down here just asking questions to female comedians who
Yes.
are here in this scene, which is one of my favorite scenes I've been a part of.
Yay. Go
yeah,
Chicago.
Yeah, go Chicago. What would you say is like your comedy superpower?
My comedy superpower is actually, and it's like a very simple power. It's just being able to time myself on stage.
Yeah.
Like I find that if I go up without someone if I'm hosting and people don't time me, then I naturally feel like the time to cut, which is good, I think, because I don't like to go over my time, especially as a host. You know, I know comics hate that, so I don't want them to hate me.
That's a very good superpower. I always go over, and then I'm like, this is my headlining show, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm
Right,
just hosting. So
right.
it's really good that's that's a good power.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
that's a good
it's
power.
simple, unassuming.
Yeah, right. It's like those little...
It's the little things in life.
And what would you say the best advice anyone's ever given you during our stand-up years?
Yeah. I will say that I have not gotten as much advice as people usually say that they get, which I guess is good because no one can tell you how to really get to the core of what you're trying to get at, right? Only you have your perspective. But the best things that I know to focus on is like writing and like getting up on stage. Like there's just no substitute for it. Like you're never going to get better if you're not up there bombing, embarrassing yourself, trying new things. Right, which also comes from the writing, which is like some days I'm literally just writing like I have nothing to write. I have nothing to write. I have nothing to write.
Just at least it's something.
Yeah, you got to get in the habit of it because it's just like you can't be up there saying the same stuff all the time unless you're trying to work on it. Trying to work on it, but like you still, those are the two best things. Other than that, I think everyone's just so different. There's no like one size fits all.
Yes, there's so many different styles of comedy, and like was not prepared for that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yes. And I feel like I haven't even like found my voice. Obviously, I haven't found my voice. I've only been doing this for like a year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm
it's
still
like
finding my voice
all
the time. And I'm almost 5 years. But I'm still finding my voice, like on where I'm going, what direction. And it's good because this gives you so much time to do that.
Yeah.
This is like one of those like time is everything in comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
But it really also is the years that you learn and grow in this as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm excited to see where I am 5 years, like 10 years. Like I'm in it for the long haul. So I'm not expecting like miracles right off the bat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And me both, girl.
Yeah.
Here for the ride.
Right. Yeah. Well,
like, what's been your favorite comedy moment that's happened, like in your year that you've been doing this now? You said a year and a half, right?
Year and a half now.
So, like, what would be like your favorite moment? It would be then. What was your favorite moment in 2023?
In 2023,
did you have like a really like?
I guess it was being able to do Laugh Factory. That was like really special to me. Like I didn't expect to do that, and shout out Janice Rodriguez and the Locas. But it was just just a taste of what like things could be if I continue to work hard.
Well, this has been so fun, Kat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cam.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
been great.
This has been awesome. Who am I? I'm just gonna be like, so.
Oh, la, la, la.
Do you mind?
No, not at all. All right. I want one of us to look cool. So if you don't light
That's
it
the
up,
only
I'll
reason
light
I
it up
started
for you.
smoking was so
I
that
know.
I could look cool.
That's
I
the
still
only.
think I am cool.
You are
Like,
because you
vapors are
smoke.
not it.
Yeah. If you were vaping right now, I'd be like, what a poser. But you're not. You're
Like,
smoking.
What a Gen Zer.
Oh my God.
Wait. Okay. Should we start over?
No, we're not. We're not cutting. This is gold.
We're not cutting.
This is gold. Okay, we're gonna keep going and we're gonna run time. All right, Kait.
Ashley.
What would you say your comedy superpower is?
Okay, my superpower would be the way that I tell. I come alive with stories. My superpower would be my act outs, I would say. Like,
Okay.
I'm most proud of those. If that would be my power,
Give me an idea of one of
something
them.
that I'm proud of.
Like, what's one of your favorite act outs that you do on
God.
stage?
Okay, well, I have this really fun one about when I worked at Piggly Wiggly, and my boss, Karen, she's. I can't even do it. But no, like it's like how I come alive. I bring each character, like my father's from Ireland. I do
Okay.
his accent all the time. When I was growing up, my friends, they thought my dad was the Lucky Charms man. No, he's like Shrek, and he doesn't want you in his swamp. Kitty. Like I just like that would be my superpower. That's not a superpower.
No, that is a superpower. I think that's awesome.
I would say also a superpower would be like bringing people together. Like I love being around people all the time.
Yeah. So for comedy and stuff?
I can bring a lot of people together.
Yeah, I think you can too. Like I'm here and I wasn't going to do the interview.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but then they were like, with you. And then I was like, oh my God,
This
yes.
is just like such a fun thing to come
Yeah,
and do.
it is.
Like I was like, this is just our community. Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of like, bringing people together, since you're so good at that, what's some of the best advice that you've ever received or that you think like holds true to you?
God, okay, one of my absolute favorite treasures that I hold dear to me is when comedy stops being fun, take a step back.
Okay.
Because it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's a very important thing to know, too, for your mental stability as well. That when it starts feeling very overwhelming and it's not fun,
Yeah.
I got to take a step back for myself, but I can jump right back in. And I've done that so many different times. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do more, to excel more. I should have done this. I should have said this.
Yeah.
And you really start to focus and hone in on those, or like even in your own brain, you're like, well, the audience liked this one better the first time, so what's wrong with this? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just start going like, you're just like really going hard on yourself.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
No.
Okay, I want to go in and just like fucking make people laugh, because that's why I'm here. I want to make people laugh. That's my favorite thing ever.
No.
So if I'm not even making myself laugh, take a step.
Take a step back.
Yeah.
Collect yourself. Go back in stronger.
I
Yeah.
make myself laugh all the fucking time. Yeah.
Well, I love that you make yourself laugh. I don't make myself laugh. But
You're like, but I'm really good at making myself cry.
yeah. Oh my God. I am that. We'll talk about that later. Actually, I do need a new crying partner. So if you like to cry,
It won't be me. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm too Irish. It's all held inside until the last
then you could
moment.
watch me cry.
Until the last moment.
No. What is your favorite comedy moment, though?
Oh, God. Okay, actually, speaking of Irish, my favorite comedy moment came this year, January 5th. I performed at Chicago Gaelic Park.
Okay.
It's a place that I have been going since I was a kid. Like, I would be like 4 years old at the bar with my dad because he was playing sports there. It's a very big Irish community center. And I performed a women's only Little Christmas comedy show. And we sold out the room to 450 Irish women.
That's insane.
And it was just women only. And it was slam packed. And it was like my favorite time ever. I had the best time with the girls that were on the lineup. We just like made it so good. But to start 2024 out that good, I was like, this is just, it's going up.
That's
just been
fantastic.
good.
Sounds like you don't need a comedy break anytime soon.
Not right now, no. This is not the step up right now. This is going in.
Yeah.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Megan.
What is your comedy superpower? What would you say?
Ooh, if I had a comedy superpower, like one that's, okay, wait, oh, why is this so hard? Maybe being indecisive on stage, like not knowing where I'm gonna go with it, but still finding kind of the punches at the end. I know that one of the things in comedy that I personally love doing is talking about my past experiences, no matter how troubling they might be, but twisting it around and making it funny. See, I started off there not knowing where I was gonna go, but I got there. So I feel like that might be a superpower.
Yep. Yeah. There you go. You just know. You're lining it up. That was great. I don't like. I can't relate, but I respect that, and I love other art forms. So that's really cool that you can take that and kind of just roll with it. And I think that you're just like showing that you're just rolling with the punches, and that's what makes things real, raw, funny, genuine.
Rolling with the punches as I'm getting punched, like by life, like just fuck you.
Absolutely, for sure. Ashley, what's the best advice you've ever been given?
Ooh, I think the best advice, it's not comedy related, but it's definitely held with me for a long time. My family lost a lot of things when we were younger. And, a lawyer had stolen quite a bit from us. We couldn't trust people that we thought we could trust. At such a young age, I was. And it was this notion that no matter where you are in life, it could all be taken away. So if it could all be taken away, the material things, the things that we think matter, aren't what's going to keep me going throughout life, I guess, in a way. It's keep the people who you care about and cultivate relationships.
Yes.
And be there for those who you love and who, take care of you and who you can take care of. But at the end of the day, anything could be taken away. So,
yeah, and that's a great way to look at life, just because like you see like just numerous like natural disasters, things like that, and people are like, you see them like talking about what is really important, and it's like, I lost every single thing, like photograph that my family's ever had, but what was the most important is they had their dog, they had their family with them, and it's like just like that raw humanity that's like really special to like be aware of, and I feel like in today's society a lot of people aren't, so that's really cool.
Yeah. I am cool.
You are
I'm
cool.
sorry.
You are fucking
Yeah,
cool.
I'm fucking awesome, man. All right, I don't think you know this, but
I'm gonna write this down. No, I'm kidding.
but please do. Can you follow me on Insta?
Yeah, I actually like when I get my phone
Yeah,
out,
I
we're
will-
gonna do
I'll
that. What is your favorite comedy moment? Would you say?
Ooh, that's a tough one because I've had definitely a few moments that stick out to me. I think one of my favorite comedy moments was, it's such a silly little thing, right? I was going through a lot and they were having this audition thing in like this tiny bar, and there were over 120 comics there.
Wow.
And they had to 200 comics were there to poll, and they were like pulling out 80 names. That's it. 80 names to audition for this show. And for a chance to like audition again for the show. And I remember I was fourth name pulled out, which I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. The 3 people who went before me bombed. And I was like, oh, my leg was shaking crazily. I thought I was going to throw up. They called up my name, and I just got the laughs. And I was shocked as I was doing it. But as I was doing it, one of my stories I was telling, someone ended up turning off the lights. And in the
Really?
room by mistake.
Oh my God.
They turned off the lights. So as
Interesting.
they turned off the lights, I like looked at them and I was like, it's supposed to happen. This is the most important part of the story. And it got a laugh, and I ended up getting a call back, and I was like, oh, wow. That was really cool. Because it's like everything that could go wrong did, but it still went well. So I was like, all right. That wasn't that great of a story, but
no, I love that, and I
should
love that
probably-
you like look back on that.
Yeah.
It speaks to you, so
Yeah.
that's really cool.
it's fun.
Hey, Meg.
Hey, this is very cool.
Megan Greeley,
Kelly McG,
one of my besties
besties.
in the house. So here we are today. We're having this awesome event. You've been taking headshots. It's been so cool. But let's get to the heart of where we're at. As an artist, tell me about your superpower.
I think my superpower is I love to create different kinds of art. And I feel that sometimes you get not tired of creating the same thing, but that you change. Like, I recently started painting, like, and the therapy of it, it's different than writing for me. It's different than photography. You know, it's a different kind of therapy or soothing, I guess. And it's also a way for me to like step back and appreciate my art. And I think it's kind of a superpower. Like, if you evolve, you know, as an artist, you can do many things. Like, you can do, like, Kelly McG can do so many things. Megan Greeley can do so many things. And then, like, we're growing in that. And it's really, really special. I think it is a superpower to be able to create different kinds of art and express yourself in different ways openly, and not being like, oh, I need to stay in one lane. You know, you can express in different ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Being diverse in your art is what it's all about. Creating, just creating.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing you've created?
Probably my book of poetry. I put it out there. I did it for me. I self-published it. And that was, for me, like a really big step. Like, I was committing to my art. Like, I was putting forth, you know, the whole, like, the virtue, money forward, like, to do this and to have my own copyrights and stuff. And that to me was me, like, making myself an artist. Like, no, I'm establishing myself, like,
Yes.
out there. I'm committing to this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, that said, what would you say is the best advice you've ever been given? It's hard to summarize,
this
right?
question is definitely a tough one, but for some reason this is coming to mind for me, and so I'm just gonna say it. But when my grandma passed away was like a really hard time for me, and you know, dementia is like an interesting thing. But somebody said to me, and I love perspectives, and I love asking people and asking, like, you know, telling them my story and seeing their perspective, because it's always important to look at things differently. And even if you don't necessarily believe it, you listen to it and you take it in, and it creates a different kind of pathway in your brain. And maybe like, you know, someday you might think, you know, you owe it to that person for them telling their story. So this guy said to me, he's like, once a man, twice a child. And he meant like, you know, when you grow old, you almost become a child again. And I like connect that to art because I feel like we have to constantly we should be childlike, and that's what makes art. And it's just interesting that like we kind of we go back to that again. Like we become so innocent and just existing, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think like that really opened my eyes. I was like, wow, like, and this is somebody that's like a guy that you would normally not think would talk like that and give that type of a perspective. But like, I think it's important to hear people's stories, and I feel that they inspire me to think differently and be differently.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah. So as an artist, you do a lot of things. You're a singer, you take pictures, you make pictures. What has been your favorite moment creatively thus far?
Probably recently, I got the opportunity to sing with a 6-piece band who they've never taken on a singer, and they let me do 3 songs with them, and like my heart was racing out of my chest. And I know that that's the reason I'm here, and that's the reason we're all here. Like, we're supposed to feel like that. We're supposed to be like that. Yeah. And I feel like it's good for you, and it's like, if you're not living, you're dying, you know?
Damn.
So I think if you do more things that make your heart beat out of your chest, you're doing it right. Regardless of what it is, you're living, you know?
Perfect. If you're not living, you're dying. Cut on that.
We're here with gorgeous Kelly right here. This is her space, her studio. She's a creative queen extraordinaire. And I'm just so curious just how you feel right now taking in this moment of bringing women together to talk about the arts, to talk about our strengths and make fucking bracelets and, you know, doing dumb shit and really smart, cool shit. How do you feel?
I feel like all dreams are possible. I feel like everything is possible.
Yes.
And having a bunch of strong females here in this space, people who I care about, people who have inspired me, most importantly. It's a dream, and I just feel like everything is possible. That's how I feel.
I love that. Every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm reminded of how we have as many options and opportunities as we give ourselves, and it's very easy to forget that. And I feel like you are such glue to this scene and women in your community. And so it makes me so happy to like manifest this with you and, you know, be your sidekick and just like making shit happen, because I do think that all things are possible, but even I can get down on myself. So I appreciate you lifting me up and all these women up. It's so cool.
you.
I love you so much.
I love you. I appreciate that.
I love
so
you.
much.
Yeah, I love you and I appreciate you. You are
Everything
so
is
special.
possible. We're just getting started.
We're just getting started.
We are just getting started.
So I want to know what you feel your comedy superpower is.
I'm a woman who speaks from experience. That
Yes.
is over. I feel like it's a job interview in this regard that I've been in corporate America for over 25 years.
Wow.
So I've got a different perspective on my comedy. I'm close with my family. I bring a lot of heart to my comedy, but also I try and bring, I like to be physical. You know, I like to move my body and show my emotions through what I'm doing. So that's my superpower. I think it's pretty relatable what I'm trying to bring when I'm talking about corporate America, and people, it resonates with them.
Yeah. I feel like all those qualities are so authentic to you, right? Like bringing in, you know, the fact that you might have more time on this earth in comparison to comics in their 20s, you know, in their early 20s. And then that's something you can't fake. You just really can't. And so I think those things are so, and you're fun and silly and like, and you're mature, you know, you can host an event, you can bring things together.
Yeah,
So
I like to have fun.
right.
Rovan Hill, I got to give a shout out to Rovan. I love him. Early on in comedy, we were talking one day, and I was trying to encapsulate like what I brought to the scene, and he said it for me. You like to have fun.
Yeah.
It was as simple as that. I like to have fun. I like to be silly and goofy.
Yeah. Right. And bringing that energy is so important because I think it is the essence of comedy, but within the hustle and the grind, or if you want to make it too hard without making friends, then it's like you lose the fun. But actually, that's like the main thing we want, right? It's like to bring the feeling of fun. It's so magical.
Exactly.
And so when you're bringing that magic, it's so special.
Yeah.
Truly.
This is superpower.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
There's a couple things that really resonate with me. One of them, which my good girlfriend who's here, Cindy Sims, who really helped me locate this space, prepare this space. She said to me once, after a show, she said, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. Mm-hmm. And that was hard for me to understand and really grasp, because it's like you think you're supposed to be something that the people want, but really you just got to be yourself. And then that leads into some other really good advice I was given. And there's been so much, of course, in 44 years of life. But my girlfriend had said to me, who does comedy, she said, people want to know who you are.
Yeah.
And that has always stuck with me. And that was advice given by Jessica Misitano.
Yeah.
And that has always stuck with me.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, they do, because you're amazing. Yeah, and it's like the whole be yourself is one of those things that obviously we're presenting that whenever we can. Like, I'm never trying to not be a version of myself, but yet under pressure, under anxiety, when you really want something, there can be like layers that build up around you, and to like bring it back down is a part of the art and challenge. But like, you're such a light in yourself that I can see how a dear friend, when they say that, like, we were talking about how you're complimenting up, you're giving advice in a way of like how you're so amazing already, which is so cool and special.
that's so sweet.
I love
You're
that.
so sweet.
I love that. What is your favorite comedy moment that you've had?
Oh, boy. I would say it was the first time I did comedy.
Yeah.
It was unsure if I was going to do it. It was a thought in my mind, but actually doing it and going through those awkward moments of saying a lot and just feeling utterly shaky inside.
Mm-hmm.
But I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. And afterward, somebody walked up to me. I'll never forget. And it was the coolest moment. Todd Glover walked up to me. It was after one of Greg Bartusiak's open mics in the park. And Todd afterwards said, "Congratulations, you're officially a comedian."
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit, I've done it.
That is so special.
Yeah.
That first moment, that you did it, you put yourself out there, and then you realize too, it's not like you gave quality, you gave your voice, but it's about the act of doing it is what makes you that thing. It's not about doing it at the highest caliber, because we all start somewhere, but you went there, you stepped into the arena,
Yes.
you fought and you
Yes.
did it, and you fought for yourself to get through that 4 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then that's so beautiful. It's like, you're a fucking comedian.
Yes,
And you are
congratulations,
still.
you're a comedian. And amen. I
Yes.
love it. So, yeah, it's been a dream, and like I said earlier, we're just getting started. I am just getting started, camera.
She is just getting started, everybody. You hear that?
More to come. More to come.
I love it.
More to come with
It's
a you.
just the beginning. Yeah. I love it.
But cheers. This has been a amazing event. We did it.
We
You and
did
I.
it. I know. Just an idea.
Yeah.
And we have bracelets and fun shit.
Yeah. And
Cheers.
you know what? Everything starts with an idea.
Yes.
Cheers.
We love it.